regarding the spectrum of sexual harassment, sexual misbehavior. There's a spectrum. You've got Henry Weinstein, who is essentially the ultimate purveyor of the casting couch on one hand. And then you have Al Franken basically mugging for the camera in what was not very funny. It wasn't a very funny picture, but I'm sure he didn't expect it to bring down his Senate career. Now, I have made allusions to the differences between the Al Franken of 30 years ago and today's Al Franken, who is, from what we understand, not a terrible United States senator. Or at least was. But there are a lot of problems with all of this. Darker forces are beginning to take advantage of all of this, to exploit it. A well-known women's rights lawyer sought to arrange compensation from donors and tabloid media outlets for women who made or considered making sexual misconduct allegations against Donald Trump during the final months of the 2016 presidential campaign. This, according to documents and interviews. California lawyer Lisa Bloom efforted to include selling alleged victim stories to TV outlets in return for a commission for herself, arranging a donor to pay off one Trump accuser's mortgage, and attempting to secure a six-figure payment for another woman who ultimately declined to come forward after being offered as much as $750,000. The women's accounts were chronicled in contemporaneous contractual documents, emails, and text messages reviewed by The Hill, including an exchange of texts between one woman and Bloom that suggested political action committees supporting Hillary Clinton were contacted during the effort. Bloom, who has assisted dozens of women in prominent harassment cases and also defended film executive Harvey Weinstein earlier this year, represented 4 women considering making accusations against Trump last year. 2 went public, 2 declined. In a statement to The Hill, Bloom acknowledged she engaged in discussions to secure donations for women who made or considered making accusations against Trump before last year's elections. Donors reached out to my firm directly to help some of the women I represented, said Bloom, whose clients have also included accusers of Bill Cosby and Bill O'Reilly. Nice little cottage industry, huh? There's going to be more of this that comes out. We're going to find more of the sordid details, both of people who are willing, for whatever reason, to make lurid suggestions and pursuits against those who are, okay, arguably powerless to protect themselves. Although, you know, if you've got a story of sexual harassment, the first person you ought to call is Lisa Bloom in LA. I'm sure you can get her telephone number. It doesn't seem like you're without recourse on this. Our circumstances are getting a little out of hand on this one. We're starting to see things that are beginning to get a little bit cynical here. This is becoming an abuse. Not just to the people that were abused. I'm not saying that. But of just about everybody that has anything to do with any of this, especially the people that you, like you and me, who are bystanders in this and watch it. And it keeps pounding us every day. There are all kinds of reasons why it's a problem. You are innocent. You are guilty until you're proven innocent. There is no due process. Matt Damon made a brilliant statement. He said, you know, I really wish they would have, at least in Al Franken's case, let it go to an ethics committee hearing. At least someone would have heard some kind of evidence. Someone would have been able to provide some sort of due process. But not really, huh? Otherwise, you just essentially you're sent to the kangaroo court du jour, the court of public newspaper. You don't get to confront your accusers. You don't get to find out how they happen to show up. I mean, is it illuminating to anybody but me that there are people out there that are making these unbelievable allegations against people who are getting paid to do so? Does that mean something to you? They're getting paid for their stories? A mortgage paid? $750,000